Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namaste, Haribol, Radhe Radhe. Welcome to the Science of Krishna. We are diving deep into the nectar, the essence of all the Vedas, Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you for joining me in reading this nectar of Vedic scriptures. Srimad Bhagavatam Granth Mahapurana ki Jai. Chapter 6, Conversation between Narad and Vyasadeva. Suta said, O Brahmanas, thus hearing all about Sri Narada's birth and activities, Vyasadeva, the incarnation of God and son of Satyavati, inquired as follows. Vyasadeva Uvach. Vyasadeva said, what did you, Narad, do after the departure of the great sages who had instructed you in scientific transcendental knowledge before the beginning of your present birth? In the previous chapter, we read that how Narad ji got enlightenment through the association. So, right association is very important. It's pivotal that we choose our associates wisely. Let's filter not just what we are putting inside our stomach, but also what we are putting inside our mind, what we are feeding our minds. We should be filtering that as well, along with filtering the kind of people we hang out with. So if you feel that some connections they take you away from your purpose, there is no shame in leaving those connections. O son of Brahma, how did you pass your life after initiation, and how did you attain this body, having quit your old one in due course? Now, Vyasadeva is excited, and this kind of excitement is always good. We should be inquisitive to know that how the devotees of the Lord they do what they do. How do they do it? What is it that they eat? What their daily routine is like? And what path are they following that is leading them closer to the great Lord? There is no shame in following on their footsteps. O great sage, time annihilates everything in due course. So, how is it that this subject matter, which happened prior to this day of Brahma, is still fresh in your memory, undisturbed by time? Now, Naradji turn to answer all the queries that Vyasadeva has very excitedly asked him. Sri Narad said, the great sages who had imparted scientific knowledge of transcendence to me departed for other places, and I had to pass my life in this way. I was the only son of my mother, who was not only a simple woman, but a maid servant as well. Since I was her only offspring, she had no other alternative for protection. She bound me with the tie of affection. Aren't we all bound with this tie of affection? Ah. She wanted to look after my maintenance properly, but because she was not independent, she was not able to do anything for me. The world is under the full control of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, everyone is like a wooden doll in the hands of a puppet master. I would like to connect this with a very simple thing. You know how some people they are into mastering the mystic powers, but they are forgetting that ultimately Shri Hari is the supreme controller, and like it's written in Srimad Bhagavatam also that we are like a wooden doll in the hands of a puppet master. So let's not waste our time into getting into things where we feel like we can control somebody else by doing, some kind of mystic power. Let's not waste time and let's try to impress the one who has created us. Let's try to devote our life towards the one who has bestowed us with so much that in every breath, if we are saying thank you and we are expressing our gratitude, it would be less. So let's not be afraid and let's be brave enough to give ourselves in the hands of the one who has created us. Jai Shri Hari. When I was a mere child of 5 years, I lived in a Brahmana school. I was dependent on my mother's affection and had no experience of different lands. Once upon a time, my poor mother, when going out one night to milk a cow, was bitten on the leg by a serpent influenced by supreme time. I took this as the special mercy of the Lord, who always desires benediction for his devotees, and so thinking, I started for the north. And now, see, a small child who has lost his only caretaker, his mother, is not weeping, is not worried about the fact that now he is all by himself. He is, in fact, thanking the great Lord for such a supreme blessing that now he can head towards his spiritual journey, the path he wants to take that would lead him to the Supreme Lord, the great Master of us all. And this is the quality of the great devotees of the great Lord. Even what seems difficult to the material world, a devotee takes it as a mercy, a great mercy of the great Lord. This is how devotees, they see all the circumstances in their life to be, just like Queen Kunti. All the austerities, all the calamities, firm in her faith and surrendered at the lotus feet of Shri Krishna. After my departure, I passed through many flourishing metropolises, towns, villages, animal farms, mines, agricultural lands, valleys, flower gardens, nursery gardens, and natural forests. I passed through hills and mountains full of reservoirs of various minerals like gold, silver, and copper, and through tracts of land with reservoirs of water filled with beautiful lotus flowers fit for the denizens of heaven, decorated with bewildered bees and singing birds. Now, all these were not a distraction for somebody who has his heart and mind set on the journey back home, back to Godhead. So, all of this is giving us a hint that no matter we are in Canada, no matter whichever nation we are living in, the material things should not distract us from our mission of loving the great Lord, developing devotional service for Him. I then passed alone through many forests of rushes, bamboo, reeds, sharp grass, weeds, and caves, which were very difficult to go through alone. I visited deep, dark, and dangerously fearful forests, which were the play yards of snakes, owls, and jackals. Thus, traveling, I felt tired both bodily and mentally, and I was both thirsty and hungry. So, I took a bath in a river lake and also drank water. By contacting water, I got relief from my exhaustion. After that, under the shadow of a banyan tree in an uninhabited forest, I began to meditate upon the super soul situated within, using my intelligence as I learned from liberated souls. As soon as I began to meditate upon the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead, with my mind transformed in transcendental love, tears rolled down my eyes, and without delay, the personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, appeared on the lotus of my heart. Now, this is the bhav of affection, transcendental affection for the great Lord Shri Hari. Hare Krishna. So, the desire and all the deficiencies and misgivings, they were removed, and Naradji was left with just faith and love for Shri Krishna. O Vyasadev, at that time, being exceedingly overpowered by feelings of happiness, every part of my body became separately enlivened. being absorbed in an ocean of ecstasy, I could not see both myself or the Lord. The transcendental form of the Lord as it is satisfies the mind's desire and at once erases all mental incongruities. Upon losing that form, I suddenly got up, being perturbed, as is usual when one loses that which is desirable. Just imagine the thing you desire most is being snatched from you. How would you feel? Naradaji felt the same way when the great image of the Lord disappeared. So I think this is the beauty. God gives us a hint and then he disappears so that there is that longing now. You know, the time when you are away from your beloved, that time, that wait, you miss them so much more, and it is having such a rush, uh, such a bhav is there, that feeling, all the feelings of the world are on one side, and that, let alone that feeling on the other side. It's beautiful how we feel, how the pure devotees feel for the great Lord. And we should not forget that we are all spiritual beings, maybe just having a spiritual experience. Our true root is attached to Shri Hari, Hare Krishna. I desired to see again that transcendental form of the Lord, but despite my attempts to concentrate upon the heart with eagerness to view the form again, I could not see him anymore. And thus dissatisfied, I was very much aggrieved. You know how he saw that glimpse of the Lord? There is no technicality, there is no mechanical process in seeing that you have to follow this, and you will have that form in front of you. It is purely by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Do you think I am talking all of this because I am qualified? Absolutely not. Do you think I am talking about God because I have done some pious activities, maybe in my past lifetimes? Absolutely not. Do you think I am doing this because I am so and so and I have some qualification? No, absolutely not. I have zero qualifications to even read Srimad Bhagavatam. I have nothing to be proud of to read Srimad Bhagavatam. This is purely by the mercy of the great Lord. If we are able to talk about him, if we are able to read about him, if we are able to discuss about his beautiful pastimes, it's not because we are so and we have some qualification or we are greatest amongst all. No, it is simply and purely because of the mercy of the great Lord. So one can think of him, one can talk about him only when he bestows his mercy. So may Shri Hari bless us all so that we can continue reading, talking, discussing, and loving him. Hare Krishna. Seeing my attempts in that lonely place, the personality of Godhead, who is transcendental to all mundane description, spoke to me with gravity and pleasing words just to mitigate my grief. Now, this is very important and beautiful. O Narad, the Lord spoke, I regret that during this lifetime you will not be able to see me anymore. Those who are incomplete in service and who are not completely free from all material taints can hardly see me. O virtuous one, you have only once seen my person, and this is just to increase your desire for me, because the more you hanker for me, the more you will be freed from all material desires. Therefore, seeing the Lord means being engaged in his service, because his service and his person are identical, and the more we engage ourselves in His service, the more we break free from the pangs of continuous birth and death. From this chakra, from this cycle, we can easily break. By mercy, by service of the absolute truth, even for a few days, a devotee attains formed and fixed intelligence in me. Consequently, he goes on to become my associate in the transcendental world after giving up the present deplorable material worlds. Intelligence engaged in my devotion cannot be thwarted at any time, even at the time of creation as well as the time of annihilation. Your remembrance will continue by my mercy. Then that supreme authority, personified by sound and unseen by eyes, but most wonderful, stopped speaking. Feeling a sense of gratitude, I offered my obeisances unto him, bowing my head. Thus I began chanting the holy name and fame of the Lord by repeated recitation, ignoring all the formalities of the material world. Such chanting and remembering of the transcendental pastimes of the Lord are benedictory. So, doing, I traveled all over the earth, fully satisfied, humble, and unenvious. So, by this, Narad ji is now explaining that how seriously a devotee takes his responsibility of spreading the name and chanting and remembering Shri Hari. He took it as his life and soul to do what? To chant and remember his great Lord, our great Lord, Shri Hari, thus setting an example for us all. And so, O Brahmana Vyasadev, in due course of time, I, who was fully absorbed in thinking of Krishna and who therefore had no attachments, being completely freed from all material taints, met with death as lightning and illumination occur simultaneously. Having been awarded a transcendental body befitting an association of the personality of Godhead, I quit the body made of 5 material elements, and thus all acquired fruitive results of work, karma, stopped. There are many examples, like of Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, such devotees who have seen the personality of Godhead face to face. That means their quality changes from material to transcendence. At the end of the millennium, when the personality of Godhead, Lord Narayan, lay down within the water of devastation, Brahma began to enter into him along with all creative elements, and I also entered through his breathing. After 4,300 million solar years, when Brahma awoke to create again by the will of the Lord, all the rishis like Marichi, Angir, Atri, and so on were created from the transcendental body of the Lord, and I also appeared along with them. Since then, by the grace of the Almighty Vishnu, I travel everywhere without restriction, both in transcendental world and in the 3 divisions of the material world. This is because I am fixed in unbroken devotional service of the Lord. And thus I travel constantly singing the transcendental message of the glories of the Lord, vibrating this instrument called a veena, which is charged with transcendental sound and which was given to me by Lord Krishna. The Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, whose glories and activities are pleasing to hear, at once appears on the seat of my heart as if called for as soon as I begin to chant his holy activities. It is personally experienced by me that those who are always full of cares and anxieties due to desiring contact of the senses with their objects can cross the ocean of nescience on a most suitable boat. The constant chanting of the transcendental activities of the personality of Godhead. And this is what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself has proclaimed and advised us to do. That is, Harer Nam, Harer Nam Eva Kevalam, Kalau Nastiev, Nastiev, Nastiev Gatir Anyatha. That is, there is no other means but the holy name of the God that will take us closer to God in this age of quarrel, which is Kali Yuga. It is true that by practicing restraint of the senses by the yoga system, one can get relief from the disturbances of desire and lust. But this is not sufficient to give satisfaction to the soul, for this satisfaction is derived from devotional service to the personality of Godhead. Something let's say we are making rice pudding. Is it complete without putting rice into it? No. It will be completed only when we put rice to the rice pudding. Otherwise, it is just sweetened milk. Likewise, whether it's yoga, whether it's philosophy, whatever we are trying to do, if it's not having love for Godhead, if it's not having devotional service, it's not successful. So unless and until it's devoid of devotional service for the great Lord, whatever we are doing won't be successful. Going to work, have love of Godhead into it. Have the thought that I am doing this for my Shri Hari, going to work for my Shri Hari. Have that love. When we are cooking in our kitchen, have that love that I am cooking this and I'll be offering it first before feeding my family to Shri Krishna. Whatever we do in that sense, it will be successful. Says who? Srimad Bhagavatam. O Vyasadeva, you are freed from all sins. Thus, I have explained my birth and activities for self realization as you asked. All this will be conducive for your personal satisfaction also. Now, we are not even freed from our sins, but still we get to hear all the explanations and all the things about the birth and activities of Sri Narad Muni. How blessed we are. Again, it's all possible by the great mercy of the great Lord, Shri Hari. Suta Uvach, Suta Goswami said, thus addressing Vyasadeva, Srila Narad Muni took leave of him and vibrating on his Veena instrument, he left to wander at his free will. All glory and success to Srila Narad Muni because he glorifies the activities of the personality of Godhead, and so doing he himself takes pleasure and also enlivens all the distressed souls of the universe. This ends the 6th chapter of Canto 1, conversation between Narada and Vyasadeva. All glories to the great devotees of the great Lord, and all glories to Srila Vyasadeva and the most amazing, the most merciful spiritual master, Sri Narad Muni. Srimad Bhagavatam Granth Mahapurana ki Jai. Thank you so much for reading with me this holy nectar of devotion, Srimad Bhagavatam. And next week, we'll be taking chapter 7, and just like how the last verse, my heart is still at the last verse, that Narad Muni, how he took his veena and started chanting without wasting even 1 millisecond. He keeps himself busy in chanting and glorifying the great Lord. And he not only does that for himself, but he thinks about others. So let's also think about others, not just for ourselves. Let's be kind toward other human beings, because it would beat the purpose of reading our holy scriptures if we are not becoming a self-realized soul, if we are not having kindness for our fellow creatures created by the same great Lord Shri Hari. So let's be more mindful. Let's practice gratitude. Let's practice goodwill, and let's be kind towards other human beings, because we are all suffering on this planet of suffering. Let's chant more and more Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Comment in the comment section that how are you finding this reading of our divine Vedic scripture, Srimad Bhagavatam, the cream of all Vedic scriptures. Looking forward to our reading next Wednesday on YouTube and Spotify. Till then, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you so much, dear devotees, for joining me. And I take blessings of you all. Please give me your blessings, that may I continue to dive deep into the love of Shri Krishna. Hare Krishna. Namaste, Haribol, Radhe Radhe.